Hello there, good evening. You're watching Sky News. Our top stories. The Home Secretary is pushing for a ban on American XL bully dogs after an attack on an 11-year-old girl and others. Sky News has witnessed the desperate hunt for survivors of Morocco's earthquake. More than 2,800 people are now known to have died. And police say 5 children who travelled from the UK to Pakistan with Sarah Sharif's father have been found. Plus, the government has said China represents a systemic challenge to the UK following the arrest of a parliamentary researcher on suspicion of spying and its owner sent to prison. Anapon is recovering from her injuries at home after needing hospital treatment for the attack, which prompted the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, to announce that she was seeking urgent advice on whether to ban this particular breed of bulldog. Well, in a moment, we will debate that issue with a dog breeder and a campaigner who believes they should be outlawed. But first, we can talk now to Amy Hobson, whose 4-year-old daughter Luna was attacked in April by an XL bully crossed with an American bulldog. Very good evening to you. Attacked only this April. I understand you went to a friend's house. The dog itself was locked in upstairs, but managed to get out. So what actually happened?
We was out shopping for the day with the owner of the dog, and we'd just done our daily shopping and had something to eat. We then went back to the owner's house where the dog was upstairs in one of the bedrooms. He'd opened the door and come down the stairs, I'm guessing just to see who was in this house. So I've put my hand out to stroke him, just as I always have done, never had a problem, never thought for once he would harm me or my children. So I've said hello to him, stroked him, and then Luna has put her left hand out to stroke him, to say hello, just as she always has, and then he's pushed her to the ground, and then he started attacking her face.
And you thought at the time the dog was trying to kiss her because he was excited, but what was we're looking at the pictures now, what was actually happening?
Well, when he pushed her to the ground, I thought he pushed her over by accident and he was licking her face. It was only then when I heard her scream, I looked down and I actually seen the dog biting her, and that's when I started getting the dog off. I started hitting him, punching him, I kicked him, I twisted his ears, I done everything to get him off.
And you managed that, did you? I mean, obviously, you know, you were looking at these terrible injuries to your young daughter. Did he get off?
He did, yeah. He did let go of her face.
And so what happened to Luna? What sort of injuries did she suffer, and what sort of treatment did she have to endure?
Well, as you can see, she's suffered quite significant injuries to the right side of her face, where she needed surgery. I took her to the hospital via taxi, because at the time of the attack, there was no ambulances available in my area for over 4 hours. So I had no choice but to take her to the hospital in a taxi. I got her there, and I ran straight into A&E, shouted help, and the nurses took her off me. Passed her to the doctors. They had one look at her and said she needed transferring to another hospital to see special-faced surgeons. And we got transferred over to the second hospital, and that's where she received her surgery.
Well, I know this was an attack with an XL bully crossed with an American bulldog. The debate at the moment is whether XL bully breeds themselves should be banned. What do you think?
I think they should be banned. They're dangerous dogs. They're not safe around children at all.
Even though this was a cross, and this is one of the central arguments, isn't it? That actually, you know, they could start breeding, XL bully breeds could be crossed with others and then would not be part of the ban. You know, your daughter's attack was a crossbreed. So, you know, this is the complexity of this argument, isn't it?
Well, the American XL Bullies is actually a crossbreed of the American Pit Bull. So there's American Pit Bull actually bred with the XL Bully. Nobody knows what is actually bred with an XL bully.
Amy, why do people own these dogs? You know, why do they feel the need to have something so powerful as a family pet?
I think it's just so they look hard. It's a statement dog. It's a fashion dog. That's all it is. It's basically, look at me, I own an XL bully, and they're not nice dogs.
And why did your friend have one? And, you know, what did she say to you after this incident?
I've not spoke to her really since the incident. She told me once I'd got Luna to the hospital, she was handing the dog to the police and she was going to get the dog put down herself but that wasn't the case. Her and her partner hid the dog from the police for 48 hours, I think, before they actually gave the dog up. She's actually fighting to keep the dog alive.
And has the dog been put down?
No, the dog's not been put down. The police have still got him, so he's still in the police kennels, but he's not been put down as of yet.
And more often than not, it is children who are attacked. They have unpredictable movements. You know, some kids try to hug dogs, don't they? They get too close. They don't quite understand. You know, is it specifically a children issue, this, do you think?
I think more children are being attacked by this breed of dog than what adults are. It seems to be all the time that there's a child being attacked by the XL bully more than what an adult is being actually attacked. I think because children are face height of an XL bully, so it's easier for the dog to just attack them because they're obviously face height.
And one final thought, really, when you meet a dog in the street, are you, your daughter, are you nervous now? Are you scared? Do you deliberately not approach them?
We don't approach them. If we see a dog in the street and it's on the same side road as what we are, we cross over to the other side of the road, so we don't have no contact with the dog. So we're nowhere near it, just in case anything was to happen, which I hope and pray it never does ever again.
Well, Amy Hobson, it sounds utterly terrifying. You know, I hope Luna has no lasting injuries from this, you know, even though no doubt she'll remember it. But we really appreciate you talking to us. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Amy Hobson there, a mother of a 4-year-old who was attacked by an XL bully cross. So let's talk more. Let's debate whether the XL bully breed should be banned. I'm joined here in the studio by Lawrence Newport, who campaigns for evidence-based regulation of dangerous dogs, and Georgina Matthews, who breeds American bulldogs. Welcome to both of you. Georgina, let's go to you first of all. You heard what Amy had to say, this terrifying attack on her daughter Luna. You know, these dogs are dangerous. They can't be around people. They need to be banned.
No, that's just not right. My heart does go out to anyone that's been a victim of a dog attack, but banning specific breeds, no matter the breed, is just not the answer, because it's been proven time and time again with the BSL laws that we already have in place. They just don't make an effect on the actual attack rates. Sorry. Something different needs to be done about it. We need to license dog breeds, all of them in general. We need to have licenses in place on who can own dogs. Are they competent enough to own the dog? Are they going to provide enough training and enrichment for the dog? It's mostly about education, I think, how we need to proceed with this.
OK, well, Lawrence, and nothing that Amy would have said would have surprised you, I suppose. Your feeling is that the XL bully is uniquely dangerous. Why?
The American bully was imported into the UK in 2018. Since then, once those dogs kind of reach maturity, we see a dramatic change in the fatality figures. From 2021 till today, in fact, over 70% of fatalities to dogs are caused by one single breed, that's the American bully. They are also responsible for the greatest number of people to die to dogs in a single year in the UK since records began. This is a very, very stark difference. It is also the case that they are behind at least 50% of all attacks that are recorded, including multiple attacks on other dogs. Just in July, in 1 week in July, there was one dog a day killed by an American bully. They are a uniquely dangerous dog, originally bred in the late 80s and early 90s from fighting stock, which shouldn't surprise us that a fighting breed would then fight.
Well, Georgina, tell us about your dogs. I know you don't have XL bullies necessarily, and, you know, the personality and the temperament of the dogs that you've got at home.
I have 6 American bullies and a Staffordshire Bull Terrier cross, and all of them are really excellent temperament. They're really sociable, friendly, loving dogs. I just call them big teddy bears because they spend most of the time on the sofa. They just want to cuddle you and give you love. The problem is that there's too many people that are not educated on how to properly breed dogs and temperament test them, health test them, and make sure that the dogs that they're going to be producing and selling out to the public are of sound nature and they're not going to be aggressive or what have you. Because the American bully, like I said, is made up of a lot of breeds, but they've been selectively bred to be companion dogs. So the only dogs that should be being bred are the most best temperamented ones that you can find, really.
Well, why are there?
You shouldn't be breeding the ones.
But Georgina, why are their ears clipped? The XL bullies. Are some people deliberately choosing them to be aggressive, and they're being bred to be aggressive as well?
That is a big issue that we are facing. Is that people are buying them to try and look hard, as people say. But that's not the dog that they are at heart. That's not how they want to be. You have to raise them terribly in order for them to act like that. Or their parents are incredibly dangerous dogs that should have never existed in the first place to have been bred. It's really important, the genetics and the upbringing of the dog, as to what sort of temperament it's going to have.
Well, the Dogs Trust, Lawrence, say that 1%, in fact, is genetics, 99% of it is the environment, is what they've said today. Effectively, it's not the dog, it's the training, therefore it's the owner, which harks people back, doesn't it, to the American gun law question. It's not the gun that's dangerous, it's the people who own it. Is that the same with this dog?
I'd like to see why what evidence there is to say that it is 1% genetics and 99% upbringing. Dog breeds were created for various tasks. Retrievers retrieve, pointers point. This isn't surprising to anyone who owns a dog. In fact, when anyone purchases a dog, one of the big things to do before you do so is to research into the breed, what behaviours you should expect, and to, as a part of upbringing, know how to manage those. A fighting breed will fight. These are dogs bred from fighting dogs. This shouldn't be surprising that they act in this way. Of course, upbringing is important for any dog, but it is also the case that genetics and traits are incredibly, incredibly integral. In fact, if you take a border collie and it's never seen sheep before, it will try and herd anything in front of it, most of the time. It is very, very hard-coded, and we spent centuries making that a central part of them.
Georgina, when you watch pictures like this at the weekend, multiple people attacked, people having to try and attack this dog with sticks to stop it mauling somebody, having already mauled an 11-year-old. That is not a dog that should be on the streets of Britain.
No, it's not at all. And that's not, to me, what an American bully should be about, or any bull breed at all. I've not personally met a bully breed that acts any way similar to that. That's just, I have no idea how they've managed to create a dog that unruly. That's shocking to me, honestly. And I think the dogs that are aggressive, out of control, such as the one that we're looking at right now, they shouldn't exist. They should be euthanised, and their owners should face severe penalties and jail time because of it, to promote responsible ownership, because there are people out there like me. I know quite a lot of people, the majority of them bully breed owners, that are dead set on creating very well-tempered dogs. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought there.
No, it's all right. We get your point. But I mean, I'm going to put your point to Lawrence, which is, why is this great disconnect between owners like Georgina, who describes them as a big teddy bear who wants to cuddle you on the sofa, and what we're seeing there? I mean, what is happening? Why is there this disconnect?
That's difficult to say. I think there are so many things at play here. You have a breed of dog which has entered the country very, very recently, and really the only thing that we can see from this has been a dramatic increase in attacks, a dramatic increase in deaths, and unfortunately a dramatic increase also in the deaths of other dogs and other animals. Like, for instance, a couple of weeks ago, there were 70 sheep mauled by 2 bullies. This is, and we can see from the footage, this is attack dogs attacking. It is also the case, of course, that for it isn't just larger breed dogs. For example, the Great Dane can weigh up to 80 kilos, yet you can't find a single case of a Great Dane killing anyone. The difficulty here is that breeding matters and breed matters, and where these dogs come from matter. And in this case, there can, of course, be dogs which are completely fine, but the statistics are very, very damning and very, very clear.
And your concern, Georgina, if they ban the XL bully, is that then people would crossbreed it again, so it wouldn't fall under the definition, and we'd be back to square one. Is that right?
Yeah, they'll essentially just go behind closed doors, as you've seen in the past with pit bull banning, etc. People, they still have them. There's still a problem. It's just not as forthright with it because it's all hidden and secretive these days, and they don't want to get in trouble with it, so they just do it without the knowledge of the government finding out, and it's just not right. We need to educate people on how to properly learn dog body language so they can identify a dangerous dog compared to an overexcited dog.
Yeah, but you've already said, I mean, you've also accepted that these dogs are being bred to be aggressive, which is part of the problem. People don't want to be educated to make them soft and cuddly, do they? Is there a danger, though, that they'd be bred again, they wouldn't be XL bullies, they wouldn't fall under the definition, you know, and the whole point is lost?
So the ban on American Pit Bull Terriers, or Pit Bull type dogs, has been very successful since 1991. We can see that because the actual fatality figures in this country have maintained at a very low level, in fact, barely changed over 30 years, even though the dog and human populations have dramatically increased. The only time that there was a difference in the pattern is the moment the American Bully enters the UK market. At that point is when we notice a difference.
OK, it's a fascinating argument. We'll see what the government does after that investigation. Georgina Matthews, who owns and breeds those dogs, thank you very much indeed for joining us. And Lawrence Newport, an academic and dogs campaigner. Thank you, both of you, for your time. Lots more on that, no doubt, in the weeks to come. Right now, though, we will have the very latest from